Evening, everyone. Got me legs out because it's absolutely roasting here today. Here in London, was 36, 37 degrees. It is still high 20s, and it's almost 8 o'clock right now. So this video is about burnishing. Burnishing is effectively oversizing the bushes that sit in your lowers. Now what's quite common-ish with the Zebs, with RockShox forks, especially the Zebs, they come with bushes that are quite tight. Now what that effectively means, you need a bit of force to actually engage the travel, so to speak. These going into the lowers requires a bit of force for that to happen when your bushes are quite tight. What that translates into is that when you're out in the trails, you'll pick up a lot of chatter, which will translate into a bit of a rough ride for some people. So what they tend to do is reduce the PSI, so there's less chatter and less of it going into the bars. 9 times out of 10, it's usually because the RockShox Zebs, these are the 23-24 model. They come with bushes that are just a bit too tight. Sometimes it's not the tightness, they're slightly overlised. So what we want to do, we've got a tool for this. What we want to do is effectively make sure they're absolutely round and very slightly overlised. And we're going to use a burnishing tool to do that. Now before you start, we've got to take the lowers off. I'm not going to take the fork off. You can if you want to do a full service. This has only recently been serviced with new wiper seals. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to take the lowers off. So that means caliper's got to come off. Brake hose, obviously, move that out of the way. Remove the 2 bolts at the bottom. And take the lowers off. So I'm going to assume you already know how to do that, whether you've got a RockShox or a Fox. Hopefully you know how to do the lowers, because I think you're going to have to know how to do the lowers before you can do the burnishing if you wanted to do it yourself. If you don't know how to do the lowers, then I suggest you take this into your local bike shop and get it done there, rather than attempting this at home. So this is the burnishing tool, or the bushing oversizing tool, which is another name for it. If you're going to get one, just make sure you get one from a reputable company, because the burnishing heads need to be machined to a very, very high tolerance. In my case, they come in 2 sizes, 0.7 mil and 1 mil. What that means is it's oversizing by 0.7 and oversizing by 1 millimeter. These are specific to the 38 millimeter stanchions, so you'll have to get ones that are specific to your size of stanchions. So this burnishing head over here, this is what goes into the lowers. This is what expands the bushings. You've got 2 bushings in each side, and the aim is to oversize them with this. Normally, what I've read, 0.7 is ample. It's enough to oversize the Zebs. So here I'm applying a little bit of lubricant. This is the same lubricant that I would use in the lowers, so whatever you would use in your lowers, use that. That's just to ensure it goes through smoothly. It does get quite warm because of the action, so you'll be turning this clockwise, anti-clockwise, and applying force at the same time. It does generate a bit of heat, so make sure you lubricate the burnishing head as well as you can. So here I'm just putting the tool together. It's fairly straightforward, it's actually quite easy to use, but it takes a lot of effort. So yeah, this isn't a 10-second job, although I'll speed ahead, but it does take a bit of time. About 3 to 4 minutes per side. I normally give it 2 goes just to make sure I've gone through cleanly and they feel relatively, I can get the burnishing head through relatively easily. That's the aim anyway, because you're going through all this effort. You want to make sure you've at least done the burnishing part as well as you can. So this is a front view, just so you can see my amazing legs. When you're going through the bushes, you want to be quite careful when you get past the first one. When you get to the second bush, you obviously want to be careful how much force you exert, because past the bush you've got the end of the lowers, so you don't want to knock into that with force. So just be careful as you go through the second bushing. Take your time, no need to rush this. You'll see my foot is on my through axle bolt, so you need to make sure you've got your through axle bolt in there, just so the lowers are aligned. If they're not aligned, you'll get a false reading, especially if you want to put the lowers back onto the stanchion and see how it feels. So take your time, no need to rush it, and it's pretty straightforward. If you know how to do a lower leg service, you won't have an issue with this. Take your time, read the manual, and yeah, appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this video. Hope you liked it. If you need any more content like this, then please like and subscribe. Cheers guys.